Hey guys, I'm back. I'm Samantha and I'm a therapist and I'm creating a video every day for a year. This is video 284. Thank you so much for being here with me. And I wanted to share this phrase that I hear in a lot of my sessions, and it just breaks my heart every time I hear it. And it is, I'm not good enough. And it always shows up in every single scenario that happens. Every story I hear. And the thing is, we are living from a story. So I want you guys to think about that. What story are you living from? Because whatever story you're living from, that's the identity that you're creating your life from. So when we want a transformation in life, we have to transform our identity and we have to start telling a new story. So every time you say, I'm not good enough, your whole body and mind and spirit feel that. And they say, okay, because the brain doesn't know the difference in between truth or untruth. And so you can program it literally with whatever you want. And we tend to be telling this story, and it comes from our past, and it comes from people who have programmed us to think we're not good enough. Most of the time, it's by people who also feel not good enough programming us. And so I want you to remember this phrase too, to water your own grass. Stay in your own yard and water your own grass. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing with their grass. Just water your own. And you are good enough the way you are. You're great enough the way you are. If you tend to your own grass, your own garden, your own tunnel vision of what you're wanting, then you're unstoppable. You're irreplaceable. You are great enough because you are consciousness experiencing itself through your perspective, or you wouldn't be here. There wouldn't be a reason you'd be here. So your unique perspective is so needed in the world. And I know I've told you about this experience that I'm doing with YouTube, and how terrified I was to speak. I've always been terrified to speak in general. But yet I'm a talker, but I'd always be scared to speak on camera, or you call my name in class and my whole heart went to my feet and I would shake. I mean, I would literally shake when I would have to read even a sentence in class. But yet there was something in me that wanted to be able to do it and not be scared. And so doing these videos has helped me to get over that fear and helped me to realize that somebody out there that's listening right now, some of you that comment all the time, you guys are awesome and I love you guys. I'm helping you in some way because it's from my unique perspective that I'm giving you the information that has helped me and helped others that I've helped. And again, I say, I'm not a guru. I don't know anything. I know nothing. I'm just sharing what I feel might help you in some way. And so I know that the one thing that is really helpful when you don't feel good enough is to remember who you are. You're a consciousness experiencing itself. You're here for a reason. We chose to be here. We wanted to have fun here, and we forgot. We have amnesia to this because some days it is questionable. Like, what the heck is this? Why would I choose to be in this? And I get it. It happens. But if you kind of set that to the side and you just make that decision, like, I'm going to think about what Sam is saying about what if I am consciousness experiencing itself and it needs me to look through my eyes to see what I'm seeing in my life. Every little thing is important to consciousness. You're gathering data. Everything about your life is data. And you get to become part of your own data. You get to decide how you think, feel, behave every single day. You can do this. And I think that the self-worth piece is huge. I think a lot of people don't feel worthy of just living, worthy of the spouse that they have, worthy of a healthy relationship, worthy of health in general, worthy of wellness, worthy of money, worthy of abundance, all of these things. But we are all these things. We are love. We are abundance. We are peace. We are freedom. We are all of these things. We just forgot. And so we have to reprogram those in to remember, because if we don't, we let the world dictate how we're feeling about ourselves. And so again, I say water your own grass, because your grass does not depend on anybody else's tending to their grass. Like, and I guarantee it's not better. Like, we don't need anybody else's grass. It's not greener on the other side. It's probably purple with, green polka dots, and you may not like that. So you want to stick with what you've got going on. Don't compare yourself to others. You're great enough as you are, or you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be needed here. You're needed here for your unique perspective. And then I go back to YouTube again. I need to share my own unique perspective, because everybody is so important, and everybody hears things in different ways. They learn in different ways. And so everyone deserves to hear things said in unique ways. And so a lot of people might see me and not like me. That's cool. But then there'll be all these others that do. And so I was always scared of like not being liked, and thought, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about, or, being judged. That was one thing. But like, I was judging myself before you guys ever judged me. And that you got to remember that if you're fearful of rejection, you're rejecting yourself before you even let anybody reject you. So we got to watch what we're thinking about ourselves. What if the world thought that they were good enough? Like, what if everybody knew that they were good enough? Wouldn't that be awesome? But the world might get boring. So that's why we have all these differences of opinions all the time. But wouldn't that be awesome if like we were all at peace and just felt good about ourselves and just had fun and laughed and had easy lives? That would be so wonderful. And I recommend you start with you. You can only change you. I talked to a client today about the fear of growing past people. And yeah, this person is half my age. And I said, man, you master this kind of thing now. Oh, I wish I could have done that. You're way ahead of a lot of people if you master this at your age. And I said, yeah, we are going to grow past people. When you start to become your healthiest, and you start to recognize how valuable and worthy you are, and you realize that some of the people in your life, just you were trying to help them or fix them or guide them, and they just don't want to come. It's like herding cats. I do this every day in the morning. I'm herding 3 cats out of the bedroom so I can close the door. I'm just herding them. It's very hard. Not hurting, herd with a D. Just want to clarify. Herding cats is very hard. And so herding adult children is hard too. So we have to be the leader, in other words, and you have to lead yourself first. You have to lead yourself. You have to put your energy into yourself and know that you're worthy and valuable enough that whoever's meant to follow you and listen to you will. And I brought up Jesus multiple times, how there were lots of people that made fun of Jesus. There were lots of people that couldn't stand Jesus, and he still remained who he was. And that is how I've decided to be. I'm going to speak my truth for me. I'm never going to be like, oh, you need to do this. This guy said this, and this woman said that, and you guys need to do this. And I used to kind of be that way, because I would see something and I'd be like, oh man, like that's how this is. That must be how it is. And then I'd see the opposite. And then I'd be like, well, I guess it's not like that. I guess it's like this. And it's so confusing out there. So my best advice is I don't follow one person. I just really like certain teachings from certain people. And I don't base my whole life on Bashar, or my whole life on Abraham Hicks, or my whole life on Wayne Dyer. I take pieces, the gems that I love, and I put them into my own unique frameworks. And I like to teach from that. And that's just me. Then that brings me into it. And so you've got a very unique way of looking at things too. And I love the comments that I get from you guys, because I have a hard time writing and even saying what I'm really thinking. It takes me a while to process things. And so sometimes when I'm not going to say sometimes, every time I'm doing a video, I'm just processing as I'm going. I never really plan these. I might have a little topic that I start it with, but I just kind of channel it, I guess. It just comes out. And I act like I'm talking to a client or just a regular person. And it just comes through. And so your unique perspective is so important to the world. You are worthy and deserving of everything you've ever wanted. And you are worth being well. I think a lot of people also keep themselves small because they are afraid. This is so new to me in the last year or two, where I was like, I didn't realize I was afraid. I was also afraid to outgrow people. And I think it's subconscious. It's like we're taught that as a kid. Somewhere along the line, we learned that if we don't agree with our families, well, we're the black sheep. And so in order to survive the family system or whatever we're surviving, we've got to either dim our light down a little bit, not be too much, not be too loud, not talk too much, the whole too much thing. We got to simmer down. We got to calm down, all of those things. And so that's what we carry into our life right now. And one more thing I'll leave you with too is I follow this guy, Joe Hudson. He's a executive coach, I think is what he calls himself. And I was listening to him. I've heard him say this a lot of times, but this is really valuable what he says. He's always like, when you are looking outside yourself to try to fix someone or help them or get them to see or like convince them of something, and you're so upset that they're not listening to you or they're not changing or they're not doing something you think they should be doing, the question you have to ask yourself is, what feeling am I avoiding in myself? And what am I avoiding looking at within myself? And I just love that. And I wanted to pass that on because everything I love to talk about, I love Neville Goddard. And, he said, there's no one to change but self. And so I love that wholeheartedly because the more I've changed myself and gone within myself and created this internal peace, I am able to go there every day. And it is just like, I promise you, YouTube has really changed me. So I do recommend all of you to YouTube. I'll follow all of you. Just tell me who to follow and I'll follow all of you. And we'll start a whole thing, a whole community together. But I think it's so valuable because you get to know yourself so much and get to know other like-minded people, and we help each other. And I think there's just something so special about that when you're being your true self on camera and letting, your vulnerability shine through and your leadership. And that's another thing about, I want to be a leader, and I knew I always was one, but I was too scared to lead. And so if you're too scared to lead, just lead yourself for a while. Like, learn to lead yourself. Show up for yourself every day. Make one small change. One thing I talked about was brushing your teeth. I had someone say something about, I bet that like 100% of people do not brush their teeth every day. And I was like, I disagree with that. But then I thought about it. I was like, I hope she's not right about that. So if you have trouble brushing your teeth, like, only brush the teeth that you want to keep. I heard that joke recently. Only brush the teeth that you actually want to keep. So watch out. Like, you got to brush your teeth and do it twice a day, at least. Like, well, not at least. Do it twice a day. You don't have to do it 3 times a day, but like at least twice a day. It really affects your health. There's a PSA. I'll get off the soapbox with that. But that's like one small thing you can do for yourself to show up. If you have trouble brushing your teeth, make a chart. I used to do this with clients, like these little kids that I had. I'd make them a little chart, and if they brush their teeth twice a day for a week, the next week I would look at their chart and I'd be like, all right. And then I'd give them some slime that I got off Amazon, because slime was a big deal, like 10 years ago. So it was motivational to them to get it done. So whatever you have to do to show up for yourself, do it. Get a package of gold stars, give yourself a gold star, give yourself some ice cream, give yourself some chocolate cake, whatever, buy yourself a shirt, I don't know, whatever gets you going. Do that for yourself because you deserve it. This is your life. You get to have fun every moment, and don't let anything take you out of your mental state that you work so hard to create. And you don't have to ever come out of that state unless you choose to. And we will come in and out of the state, but it won't be as hard as it has been to get back into it when you practice. And I'll leave you, I already said I was going to leave you like 10 minutes ago, but I'll leave you with this. Yesterday, I mentioned the exercise that Joe Dispenza recommends about like practicing gratitude for 10 minutes a day, and just like closing your eyes and just being in gratitude. Think about things you're grateful for. I like the words thankfulness and appreciation as well. So just kind of feel those feelings and teach your body how it feels to feel those feelings just for 10 minutes. It feels so good, I promise you. If you've never done it, just do it. Do it like your life depends on it, because it does. Your mental state depends on everything. Like, your whole life depends on your state. You're creating your life from your state. So we've got to look at that as like, that is our primary asset, is the mental state. And that mental state is created from how we see ourselves. So remember, you are so worthy. You are so loved. And remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate appreciates. Like I say every single day, you're not going to appreciate unless you appreciate yourself. Give yourself what you never got. Give yourself what you've always wanted from your parents, your friends, your coworkers, your spouse, whoever that isn't saying the things that you want them to say to you. Start saying them to yourself, and then watch what happens externally when you change internally. Just watch what happens. And I will be back tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. You are so loved. Remember, pass it on to somebody who needs to hear it. Remember to appreciate yourself, because what you appreciate. Please like, subscribe, share this with somebody who might benefit from this information, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.